I'm here at Deaconess Midtown, where starting today, hospital administration along with the Vanderburgh County Department of Health are placing restrictions on who can visit patients. Troopers say this all happened around 8:30 last night. Friends and neighbors say they're shocked by the news and were told that Lee was shot just outside of his mom's apartment. I'm here in the Apollo neighborhood. It's one of the areas hit hardest back in 2000, and at the commemoration today, it was clear that those who experienced the weather event will never forget it. I'm here in the 900 block of Audubon Avenue. It's where the triple homicide took place, and now, 1 year later, I got the chance to sit down with Commonwealth attorney Bruce Kegel, who tells me they're working towards the trial. Jackie, I'm here at Old National Bank on West Franklin Street, where, according to federal documents, EPD officers arrested a man involved in a skimming ring Saturday. Randy, police are telling me when they arrived at the home around 5 o'clock last night, they found what they believe to be a murder-suicide. Fire ravaged the home here on West 1st and Plum Streets. When crews first responded, they say it was neighbors who made sure the homeowner was saved. Money from the grant will be used to update, outfit, and renovate this entire space. Neighborhood leaders have already planned how they're going to use the money to make changes. Tonight on 14 News, I'll show you a closer look at the plans for the new middle school and in addition to Apollo High School.
Cracking down on meth in the tri-state is the focus of tonight's special report.
At 6, we dug into what's being done here in southern Indiana. Tonight, Erin McNally keys in on the issue in western Kentucky.
Jackie and Randy, just in the last 5 years, Owensboro police tell me the number of meth-related arrests in the community has nearly tripled. That's right, tripled. And while talking with detectives and county officials, I quickly discovered meth addiction hits very close to home for a very familiar face in this community. And it's inspired him to take action, hoping to save others from the same loss. Al Mattingly, a familiar face around Davis County. He's been serving the area since 2011. But let's rewind back to 2002, before he became judge executive.
11 o'clock, I got a call. My brother had been arrested for manufacturing methamphetamine with 3 other guys.
Fast forward to now, and the addiction numbers are back up. It's an issue becoming all too common in Davis County. Meth use has increased so much in the last 5 years, city officials are calling it a meth scourge.
The problem is it's so much cheaper than it was even when it was a manufacturer here locally. You know, it used to be you'd have methamphetamine be $100 a gram. Now you can buy it for probably $30 a gram. Local
law enforcement goes undercover out on the streets to purchase the drug. Sergeant Nichols works on the street crimes unit for the Owensboro Police Department. He says his team makes crystal meth purchases daily.
From 2014 to almost 300 arrests to current, where we're at, to almost 800 arrests this year, I feel like is in part due to availability. Methamphetamine is widely available in the area.
Here's a look at meth arrests made by the Owensboro Police Department. These numbers do not include arrests made by the Davis County Sheriff's Office or Kentucky State Police.
I think meth had a good hold here in our community before the opiate crisis became so big.
Dr. Ronson Lynn Clark has worked at drug treatment facilities in Owensboro for more than 2 decades. She says 60% of her patients struggle with a meth addiction.
When we had individuals manufacturing methamphetamine in their backyards, out in the woods, that was not to the degree of purity that we have, and it was made with a lot of chemicals that you could buy at a hardware store or a department store or a grocery store.
Dr. Clark says what people often forget is the toll addiction can take on those closest to us.
Substance abuse has a direct effect on at least 7 other lives.
Mattingly reflects on the day his twin brothers were born.
It was one of those monumental days that you have in your life, and you can just about remember everything. And growing up, you know, they followed me around.
Not knowing that years later, one of them would battle drug addiction. Did you ever suspect that your brother would deal with the drug addiction?
I would tell you yes, and I think my mom would have told you yes, but what do loved ones usually do for their loved one, as opposed to holding them up and accountable what do? They enable them.
With the help of his family, Mattingly's brother made his way into recovery and spent the last few years of his life counseling others struggling with substance abuse.
He loved what he was doing. That would have been in 2004. In late 2006, he was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer and passed away in 2008.
That does kind of play into the back of your mind and how widespread it can be, that nobody can really go through untouched with some family member or something exposed to that problem.
Now, years since his brother's passing, Mattingly is on a mission to help those dealing with addiction in this community.
Now I advocate and work for not just enforcement of law, but for treatment and rehabilitation and helping those folks get back into society because they can become good members of society, productive members of society, worthwhile members of society. And it's all because of a personal experience. It's amazing how your perspective changes when it has to do with somebody that you love.
Mattingly tells me the city and county will continue the discussion surrounding meth, meeting with local agencies to address the issue. It's a story we'll continue to follow.
It was unbelievable. It just, all I could think about World War II and some pictures you see on TV of what some of those cities looked like after they were bombed.
20 years ago, a tornado ripped through Owensboro, shredding neighborhoods. Today, city and county leaders met to reflect on the anniversary, and Erin McNally joins us live from Owensboro. Erin?
Jackie, I'm here in the Apollo neighborhood. It's one of the areas hit hardest back in 2000, and at the commemoration today, it was clear that those who experienced the weather event will never forget it. January 3rd, 2000.
It was unbelievable. It just, all I could think about World War II and some pictures you see on TV of what some of those cities looked like after they were bombed.
Former Owensboro Mayor and City Manager Ron Payne reflects on the aftermath of the 2000 tornado.
It was such a miracle. No one lost their lives in that event that night.
Members of the community joined city and county leaders, both past and present, to reflect on the event that ravaged Owensboro.
It helps, people come together that are like-minded, that were there, and kind of sort through that.
Jack Hinton remembers the tornado vividly.
I get a pit in my stomach that is extremely hard to get rid of because my daughter had just got out of class at Apollo High School.
Hinton says he counts his blessings today.
And if she had been delayed 5 minutes, I don't even want to think of what would have happened.
EMA Director Andy Ball says he wants members of the community to know that 2 decades later, Owensboro is better prepared if a tornado were to strike again.
The radar has gotten a lot better. Our meteorologists are a lot better trained, and I just think we're, more well-rounded in preparation than we were 20 years ago.
The EMA director says he put together this event as a reminder.
Even though we are better prepared today, it could still happen at a moment's notice, even today. And it's January. Look at the weather outside right now. I'm sure it's in the back of people's minds that lived through that.
Whether it's a 97 flood, a 2000 tornado, or an ice storm, or whatever it is, everybody comes together to help their neighbor. I don't want to live any other place. Thank you all.
The EMA director tells me since the 2000 tornado, they've installed several more weather sirens in the area. And as always, our 14 First Alert weather team is always ready with the latest updates. Reporting live in Owensboro, Erin McNally, 14.